In part 1 of this video, I'll show you how to prepare the blank, how to apply the pattern onto the high density urethane, and then how to carve out the lovebirds. I'll be making this sign out of 20-pound density easy board. Easy board's a high density urethane, and you can use any common woodworking equipment to prepare your blank. You can see I'm using a scroll saw here to cut out the curve shapes, and I squared it up on my table saw. After the shape is cut out, I'll take it to my router table and route a coved edge along the top of the sign. I started with a piece of easy board 14 by 11 by 1 inch thick. My pattern has been printed on my laser printer as a mirror image because I want all the letters and numbers to appear correctly when transferred to the sign. I'm using the pattern transfer tool, which is a heat transfer method, to heat up the toner on the pattern and transfer it to the high density urethane. If you don't have a laser printer, take your pattern to a photocopy center, Kinko's, Office Max, Staples, the library, and get a photocopy of the pattern. Photocopy machines and laser printers both produce toner-based image, which is necessary to use with your pattern transfer tool. I'm using the My Chip carving cutting knife to make the long sweeping curves on the stem of the leaf portion at the top of the design. I've now switched over to the My Chip carving modified knife to make these tight curve cuts. You'll see I make the inside curve first, and when it reaches its very tightest point, draw the point of the knife up to the surface of the easy board, continuing to turn it underneath the point of your knife to make that real sharp curve cut. This angled view shows you the technique I use while keeping my thumb and knuckle on the surface of the easy board and turning it underneath the knife to get those smooth, tight curve cuts. To carve efficiently, I'll make all the same cuts one after another, and then when those are done, come back right around and make the final cut to remove each of these shapes. Now I'll show you how to remove the feathers on the lovebirds. I'm still using my modified knife. At this tight portion of the curve again, draw the point up to the surface, turn the easy board underneath the knife, and then go back down for your depth to remove that chip. If the chips don't come out, use the same technique, the same angle of the knife, to go back in and remove the chip wherever it's hung up. So here's the point right here where you draw the knife out to its very point. while turning the work underneath your knife. Now go back down for the depth to remove the chip. Strop your knife regularly to keep a real razor edge on your knife. You really feel the difference after you've stropped. And use the same technique on the smaller feathers. I've switched back to my standard cutting knife for these sweeping curves. As the chip gets wider, your knife needs to go deeper. Because the modified knife is pointier, it's perfect for small detail work like this. In part 2, I'll show you how to carve the letters and numbers and apply a finish to our sign.